to another episode of Two Guys, One Level, a place for gamers to hear about all things gaming and see all things gaming. I'm your host, Tortuga, accompanied by Pixel. So,
And welcome back, everybody.
yeah.
So as you can see, we're doing something a little new here. Doing a little video for you guys. That's how we're gonna dance for you.
Wow.
Um, well, Tortuga's gonna dance for you.
Double wow.
So to get started, got a lot of news this week. We had Gamescom, which is really ready to dive into that. Before we do that, got to touch on Blizzard a little bit. Still coming up in the news. This time, we're getting some news where I guess a couple casters for a few Overwatch tournaments have avoided just saying McCree's name entirely.
Yep.
Right. So I think they started going with the Cowboy. But they Blizzard has gone on record. Well, right, Jesse McCree, he was a lead level designer on, I believe, originally Diablo 4. And he was one of the several senior Blizzard staff, recently dismissed from the company because of the recent lawsuits.
Right.
Going forward, Blizzard said that they will refrain from naming any in-game characters from actual employees, and will be more thoughtful and discerning about adding real-world references into any future Overwatch content.
Oh, they're not just going to do further research. They're never going to name anyone after another person.
Right.
Any future names that are the same will be purely coincidental. Moving forward, they're also making changes to not just Overwatch but other products like World of Warcraft, where they named individuals after real people within the corporation. And they're going about renaming them as well. So it's a widespread change that Blizzard is breaking. And I'm glad you started off with this because I have my notes ready for this rant.
Oh,
Kidding.
okay.
But no, because we spoke about it last week, where we say time and time again, where the customers have, the say. This is happening because people started boycotting. They started writing angry emails, tweeting all this stuff towards Blizzard, right? And Blizzard's reacting because, like I said, once you start boycotting and cutting into their money, they will make all the changes they have to in order to keep the sales from going under.
That is 100%. And it's always been like that. For
Right.
what was there was a big strike in Japan a couple years ago. I don't exactly remember
Hiroshima, but we
why.
don't need that history.
Wow. Okay. Um, but basically it was like their bus drivers, right? Public bus
Yep. Yeah, I
drivers.
remember that.
It was a massive strike. Again, I don't remember why it happened, but they um they essentially were not accepting any pay for the bus, but they still kept the buses driving. So obviously, it was costing the big companies all this gas money
Right.
for the buses, and then they finally gave in.
Yep. I mean,
So
that's honestly what it takes. We do have the ability to make the change that we want to see in the world. It usually takes a lot of energy and a lot of people to get things rolling. Because these major corporations refuse to budge. But I'm just putting it out there that it's possible, and seeing these
yeah.
changes within Blizzard shows that. Now, I mean, I understand the whole premise of changing McCree's name because the guy he was named after did what he did, and and all that stuff that's going on within Blizzard. But I mean, it's McCree. I really don't know how I really feel about changing his name, and I think it's more so because of the fact that that's a character of a voice actor that I enjoy listening to, not only in video games but, as you know, in Critical Role, since his voice actor is Matthew Mercer.
Um, didn't he? Didn't he like quit?
It's
Um,
still his voice. They didn't redo the voiceovers.
hmm. I don't. I just vaguely remember seeing something about it as you were mentioning it.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know if he quit. Maybe he vowed to not do any more work for Blizzard, given what they did to.
it was before this.
Ah,
Yeah. In addition to everything going on over there, you know that there was a recent change to the lawsuit where Blizzard HR was being accused of shredding like HR documents related to
my
the allegations of
God.
abuse.
What?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I remember again just vaguely saw something because I was mainly going over for the McCree thing, but California essentially ended up expanding that lawsuit against the publisher because of that the allegations of shredding the documents.
That is insane.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
so really curious to see what's going to happen to current Blizzard as well as the future projects.
Who knows at
That
this
is
point?
that is pretty insane. I mean, they're a giant. I wonder what's gonna happen with that the Activision merger.
Yeah.
Because this that's basically what it was, right? They became this massive giant, and I remember when it happened. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. I want to say it was here, or maybe it was over at Gamers TV. But we did touch on it when it happened, and it was just like, alrighty then. Uh, we'll see what kind of downhill roller coaster this goes.
I guess we're doing this.
And I definitely thought it was going to be Activision, but no, turns out it was Blizzard.
Yeah. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing that is quote unquote normal in the gaming industry. Like a lot of it's been coming to light in the past 2 years now. Back to back to back corporations facing the same allegations, the same events. It's sad, really.
Right. But that's where we are, unfortunately. But let's keep it moving here. One of my more anticipated titles, Sifu. Again, the martial arts game from the makers of Absolver. We finally got a release date set to come out on February 22nd, 2022. Which I saw a couple of years ago. It's gonna be right two 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 22, and then it falls on a Tuesday. So I think that's fantastic. It's the little things. It really
It
is.
really is.
But yeah, so it looks good. I really like the animation. As a slight cell shaded, but also like Sleeping Dogs. If you ever played that, um, and I'm really curious to see how the aging mechanic is going to go here because I didn't try Absolver, which had a similar mechanic. I think as like the more you died, you also got older in a sense, but you were able to you move slower, but I think you hit harder. I think is how that mechanic went through.
Hmm. I remember
But
that.
yeah, this one I'm very very excited to see what it's gonna play like because it does look pretty smooth. So I'm really excited for that. We also touched on the Saints Row reboot a couple episodes ago, or one or two episodes ago. Some additional news is for anyone who is a fan of the universe. The main character was Johnny Gat from the original Saints Row games, and that kind of went all over the place. This one they're looking to stick more to their roots, as we saw more at Gamescom where we're going to be seeing, gameplay similar to Saints Row, like 3 and 4, I believe is what they said. As far as like the graphics and mechanics and things like that, but the actual core foundation is going to be closer set in Saints Row 2, which is where you were trying to build like your criminal empire, basically. So it's not going to go the far fetched notions. So it's going to still be more grounded in reality, closer to Grand Theft Auto. You know.
I don't know.
Well, so for Saints Row, I want to say it was 4, maybe. It basically took place like in virtual reality, so it was kind of like prototype with guns or more guns. So right, you were able to like jump on buildings, run super fast, things like that, because it was all taking place in your mind. There were like aliens. It got out of here, out of this world. I mean, it was fun. It looked nice, but that was essentially the main gameplay, right?
Yep.
The aliens came, take over. But in Saints Row 1 and 2, it was, it was more reality based. It just felt like another. It felt more like a GTA clone at that point. 'Cause you had the guns, you had the things. Obviously, it became its own thing, but again, just more grounded in reality.
Gotcha.
Physics and things like that.
Gotcha. I know you got more Gamescom things, so I'm just waiting
I
you to
have a
finish.
lot of I have a lot of Gamescom, so we can just touch on it as we go back and forth. So I'm not talking for 6 hours.
Hey man, I didn't. There wasn't anything there that I cared about. So all the Gamescom stuff, it's all you. I know you got a release date for Valheim,
Valheim has an update coming out on September 6th, which is fantastic.
and they also
Um,
have an official release date. No longer in
I
beta mode.
Oh, no longer early access. That is great. I actually did not see anything on that, so thanks for that.
It's what we're here for, bro. Those mini updates. Yeah, no, they have an official update um for the game release. I'm trying to see if I can locate it, but looks like I think that what you're talking about was in September, but I remember reading that there is to be officially released. So here's
yeah,
to that.
yeah. No, September 16th, they're getting like a big update, the Hearth and Home, which are adding a bunch of stuff into it, which is good. You know, they had like that anime trailer, which looked really nice. Um, And yeah, so I'm gonna have to read up on that and see what we got. Um, we also have the Vampire the Masquerade Blood
Oh
Hunt,
yeah, I
that
forgot about
battle
that.
royale mode thing.
Yeah.
Looks a lot better than I thought it would. I was really, I'm not too familiar with the franchise of, right, the Vampire Masquerade kind of thing, but it looked fun. I don't think I'm gonna play it because it feels too close to Naraka Blade Point for me, which again is a beautiful game, but Neon Cyber Samurai loves it. We've been chatting about it. I told him, I was like, I just did not have fun with that thing, and he was like, "You are out of your mind. You have no idea what you're talking about."
Well then.
I'm pretty sure he told me out. He doesn't know why I have a podcast at this point. I'm
Wow.
teasing. I'm teasing, but yeah, he listens to our episode, so I'm sure he's gonna enjoy that little tidbit. Um, but yeah, again, it does look really, really fun. Really curious to see what some videos might be of it because I'm always intrigued by what gamers do with these games.
Right.
Right, we talk about speedrunners, we talk about the modders, and so I'm curious to see how people are gonna treat this one.
I mean, I guess we'll just have to see. Yeah. For the most part, we've always enjoyed what modders put out there. There's always something that's just mind blowing and can't help but just be in awe of what's created. Even though a lot of modders, as we mentioned in the past, are starting to pull their content due to some of the changing changes that are happening in the modding world.
Yes, yes. So we have touched on that. Um, Very, very on brand for a lot of these people. I'm gonna do a bit more of a rapid fire because a lot of these games are definitely not something that we're interested in. So Far Cry 6, we got a story trailer. Definitely confirmed that Carlos Esposito, his famous actor, is definitely the bad guy in here.
Okay.
Um, Jet, the Far Shore. It's like an open world, different biomes kind of thing. Looks nice. I'll keep an eye out for that. Lego Star Wars, the Skywars saga. Looks like that's coming out officially after being delayed a lot. Park Beyond is a theme park simulator from the makers of the Tropico games, which is like the city management, but you're a dictator.
Okay.
There's also the Outlast Trials, which is coming in 2022. Do you remember that Ubisoft bicycle game, right? This extreme sports game, Riders Republic.
Yes.
That open beta ended today, so let's see what happens with that. This one actually caught my eye. I might broaden my horizons on this one a little bit, but there's a game called Cult of the Lamb, exactly as
Mm-hmm.
it sounds.
Yep.
your lamb. Did you see anything on this?
I saw just the preview that was highlighted, was shown.
It was, yeah, like it was. It looks good, right? I love the animation, and
I'm
it's just
surprised you
that
do,
just really. I don't know. It's.
because you
I
hate
think the
some similar games. You hate at least the playstyle, like Stardew Valley and Bastion and Hades. Like it's that top-down 8-bit character like game style.
not in this case. That's what I'm saying. This one is closer to like Castle Crashers as far as the animation goes, right? It is that top down. I don't mind the top down. Stardew Valley, definitely that pixelated thing is hard for me to play in modern games, and it's a shame because I know there's a lot of good ones. But I still play like a Super Nintendo game, but maybe it's just that nostalgia factor that plays into it.
Right.
But Cut of the Lamb definitely looks fun. I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game coming out. I want to say we touched on it, but I'm honestly not too sure. Um, but it's just another beat 'em up revival, and they just said that we will be getting April O'Neil to the fighting roster to that. So when that comes out, they recently did Streets of Rage 4, and they're working on the upcoming Metal Slug Tactics. But that same developer is working on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And honestly, just with Streets of Rage 4, which also had a nostalgia factor thing for me, that game was very, very smooth. So I'm very excited to see what this one's going to be like. Just so I could take my revenge on those beat 'em ups because the ones on the Nintendo was virtually impossible. I don't think I've ever beaten that one.
Got your rapid fire.
A little more. um, Halo Infinite got a release date for December 8th.
Good.
Um, so, uh, are you gonna check it out, or will you be able to because of your life
I
in
highly
December?
doubt it. I mean, we'll see. I can't say. I don't know. A little too far for
Gotcha.
me to know.
Guacamelee, a developer, has a new game that turns you into some sort of robot egg.
Okay.
Their gameplay is really smooth, so I'm gonna have to see more on that on this particular game. Um, Midnight Suns is gonna be a Marvel RPG from the XCOM team.
Good.
So people have been speculating. I don't know if you remember, like a year or so ago, we got like this 1 minute Marvel trailer for a new Marvel game.
Right.
So this is the end result of that. People are speculating that it is going to be a like XCOM, just a tactical with all these Marvel heroes, but on the darker side of the stories.
Right. Yeah, that one actually
Um,
looked pretty good.
yeah, I might check it out because Doctor, well, Doctor, XCOM in general didn't really catch my attention. All right. Again, animation is beautiful, but just that tactics portion,
Right.
just yeah, nah. I've seen these guys literally; they were like one block away from each other, right? One, D&D just 5 feet, one square away,
Yep.
and he had and he missed. It was like, no, I can't do that. I would be so tight. Like the percentage was like super low too, so I can't deal with that.
Can't say that I blame you,
and
but yeah.
and that's going to be it for. Oh, actually, no. One last thing. Something super random, but apparently, YouTube has issued a cease and desist order of the creator of Groovy. So the music bot for Discord will be eliminated as of August 30th.
Hmm. Righty then. I'm
And
gonna
that's gonna
go
be it for me.
into my rapid fire, and by rapid fire,
Uh,
I mean appropriately talk about one topic, and that topic is so Doctor Disrespect. We speak about him.
no, I'm sure me saying doctor hinted you that this guy's gonna ruin another topic for me. So just jump on there. I know you thought it. I know you thought it.
Doctor Disrespect. We spoke about his ongoing issues since he's been banned from Twitch. Honestly, that's the first time he on my radar, even though he's a incredibly popular streamer. But I didn't hear of him until the conspiracies that were thrown around once he was let go by Twitch, and it's this story is surrounded around that. So if you don't know or you haven't heard, Doctor Disrespect lost his contract with Twitch. No one knows why, but he has officially said that he has been notified by Twitch on why he was let go. And due to the reasoning they gave him, he is now, as he said, going to sue the hell out of Twitch. Um, he now plans to basically get millions in damages from Twitch. At least that's the game plan. So we've been covering a lot of lawsuits in the gaming world, so we just added one to our platter. I'm very curious to see what Twitch is gonna say. They have yet to comment on what Doctor Disrespect is gonna do, but I am very curious to see what's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna end up reaching the public court. I really do feel it's going to be handled behind the scenes because I don't think Twitch wants to reveal why they did it, because they are notorious for not telling streamers or the people of why they ban who they ban.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna take the Nintendo approach on this, where they're not even gonna set that precedent
Right.
where they, if they did, permanently ban someone entirely, like they did with that disrespect, they just completely removed any potential access. Yeah, obviously, he's a big figure, right?
But,
Um,
there's that. And there's also the fact that Twitch said we will ban any Twitch streamer that plays a game that or streams a game of them playing with Dr. Disrespect. Like, that's intense to go as far as, yeah, you ban the guy, cool, whatever. He did something that broke the terms and conditions and you weren't go. But to go as far as to also ban streamers just to play with the man. So
right.
I really have to know what he did to deserve that level of exile.
No, it's true. I mean, this all started kind of out of blue. Again, just like Tortuga here. I think I've heard the name from someone that I work with, but it wasn't until like books like really kind of drove that issue, or not that issue, but that information home. Right, this
Right.
person that he enjoys watching. And he has made a name for himself. Even before this,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of tournaments and things like that. I think one of the big things that he's kind of starting with here is, of course, going to be his compensation damages.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he makes about 25% of what he was making while he was on Twitch, which is a pretty big hit. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's making something. He's still maintaining just about 3.5 million subscribers on YouTube, where he's been for a while. And then that's where the news broke out, where what he's going to do with Twitch, right?
Right.
Not only claiming that he's suing the company, but now he officially knows the reasons that he was banned. We still don't know, which I'm sure is it's going to be a tactic, for his legal team. I'm sure he has one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, again, we don't know why, as of yet. So we'll see where this goes. We'll keep you guys updated as best as we can. Just give you our thoughts on it. But I don't know. Depending on what it goes, like if it's gonna be something standard in the terms and conditions, then
Mm-hmm.
he might be up a creek without a paddle. But if it's something that it
But
seems
I mean,
like if there's precedent that other people have done it and they haven't banned them, like we'll
but
see
I
what that's
mean,
gonna happen.
this we're not talking about like a dumb individual here. Like Doctor Disrespect isn't gonna go just sue Twitch just for the hell of it. He,
Right.
if he thinks that he is entitled to compensation, due to the reasoning that they gave, I mean, then I personally think that he has a leg to stand on. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna win this lawsuit because remember, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon's pockets are pretty damn deep.
They
But
are.
I mean, who knows? Like I said, Twitch might put a lid on it and just pay him out just to stop it before it gets out of control and they get some really bad press. Um, or he might just put their name in the dirt and then they'll get lose on their own set of damages due to whatever happened. I just want to know why the man was banned and then treated the way he was treated by Twitch because they made it seem like he killed the entire senior executive staff or something. Seriously, that's how Twitch is reacting. I really want to know what he did. Apparently off stream, because no one has seen anything on stream that violated the terms and conditions. The biggest theory was that he was using Twitch's name to negotiate a contract with, I think it was like Microsoft's streaming platform, and then the Facebook streaming platform. Um,
And
but
then there was also the speculation where he was reaching out to other top Twitch streamers to move him over.
right, and there was also that he wanted to create his own streaming platform, or Google's streaming platform. I remember that was a big one, that there was a Google streaming platform, but YouTube is streaming platform, so I don't know. But there was also a talk about that going on. And he was trying to get, like, what was it, like Ninja, um, and Shroud, and who knows who
Right.
else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where this goes, just because these legal battles, man, they have been rampant this past year, 2 years or so. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, we're all left to our thoughts with this pandemic that's been going on. We're all home all the time now.
That is basically it. A couple quick things. Excuse me. A couple of quick things here. State of Decay 2, which I enjoy. Again, one of those games where it's fun enough, just mind numbing. You really don't have to do much. Some zombies, which I'm kind of over, but whatever. They just celebrated 10 million lifetime players, and they threw in a remastered map in there,
Mhm.
so you can go check that out. There's this game called Stray Blade, which is gonna be like a new Souls like with Iron Man combat is the way they kind of threw it in there. Right, it's gonna be that slower gameplay, easy to play, hard to master kind of thing.
Okay.
But it looks fun enough. The colors are really they were reminiscent of like maybe like Fable as far as like the overworld colors, but the actual character players look pretty. Well, just like the NPCs and the actual character models look pretty in depth. So it's like a weird mix of the art style there, but it looks pretty good. You're gonna have this sort of cat like thing, humanoid. I don't wolf. I don't know. You're gonna have some sort of like companion character, which is gonna level up separately from you.
Okay.
So like as you level up and you have like your moves and things like that, I think they're gonna have that level up for more things in the overworld. I guess maybe to like see where you can go, or I don't know, so something along those lines.
Okay.
Um, so we're excited to see what that's going to be like. A little something for you is in Sea of Thieves this week, which I know you enjoy.
Yeah.
Which maybe I should play that with you. But they're adding a Borderlands themed ship color reskin. So it's gonna be
Hmm.
Borderlands themed before your ship in Sea of Thieves.
Wonder if they're gonna make it like that shell shade animation for the whole ship.
Mm.
That'd be neat.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh.
Looks like it's just gonna be. Yeah, I have an Ori one, Ori and the Will of the Wisp or the
Mhm.
Blind Forest. I forgot which game. I have one in there. I just collected it as a reward.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, because I am currently playing Borderlands for the very first time, my first playthrough, and it is enjoyable. I'm having a good time. The voice acting is hilarious. There's a lot of just funny bits in the game that just keeps me playing it, and not to mention it's very mind numbing, as I like to call games where there's not much thought required to play. It's just there to basically have time pass by, like watching Netflix for 13 hours kind of thing. Um, but in video game format. So I do appreciate the hard work that is in Borderlands, and I'm excited to get up to Borderlands 3 because I know a lot went into that game.
Yeah, no, but I played one. I want to say I beat one. I'm pretty sure I did, but I honestly don't remember fully. I never fully beat two. And then right, three just came out recently, so
Yep.
it's just kind of like sitting there. Do have some additional news for Elden Ring. Um, right, so I believe we are getting a January, February release date for Elden Ring.
Okay.
Uh, Looks good. All right, we weren't expecting anything less from Software. They still have money from their Dark Souls games, right? Their Souls-like game. They kind of coined that within their franchises. So this is going to be like that. This one's taking a more of an open world aspect, which is not something that they've done before. Everything was more of like just this one kind of castle thing
Hmm.
as like the overworld. Well, this is going to be like, land, horse travel, things like that. They're also adding a map for the first time to help people. From what I gather, is that they're being a little lax on the overworld because remember this was contracted to be done by George R. R. Martin,
Right.
right, the writer from the Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones books.
Yep.
So, but some additional news came out. Right, we mentioned that George completed his work on Elden Ring years ago, right? But it just came out that on top of that, George R. R. Martin didn't do any of the writing. He just got, he helped Miyazaki, the director, just build the overworld or, like the actual world and things like that.
Hmm.
But all the text and the narrative is actually coming from themselves,
Gotcha.
or from within in house. And, obviously the central narrative, and then they kind of let um, Miyazaki do all the writing from there. There is still going to be so with the Souls game. I know you never played them. I didn't play them either. I just kind of had to do my research on this, and it was basically that there you don't get the story unless you like really dive into like reading like manuscripts and things like that. I don't think there's very much dialogue in the game, so to understand like what's going on, you really have to dive in and search for the lore. And they're kind of taking a similar approach here. In this one, however, there's going to be a lot more NPC narrative and NPC dialogue, but you'll
Gotcha.
still have. So the hope is that they'll still give you bits and pieces, but for like real in depth stuff, you'll still have to explore, read books, and things like that.
Hmm. I mean, that's pretty neat. As you said, I haven't played the Dark Souls, anything related, even like Demon Souls. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it is definitely a genre that I enjoy watching on Twitch. So I definitely think that I would enjoy it if I did play, firsthand. It's just I've just never purchased any of those games. I
Well, there's a
want to.
couple
It's just
also that
yeah.
are behind a paywall,
Sure.
aka Sony. Um,
But it's more like I enjoy the genre. I enjoy the challenge. Right, we've said it many times before that the best formula for making a game is an easy goal, an easy concept, but challenging mechanics to get there. And Dark Souls, I feel, is the epitome of difficult mechanics.
No, absolutely. I mean, you got to remember we got some of our favorite um, run throughs with this, right? Well, let's see, just to name a few, we had that one guy who beat the trilogy. I want to say it was a trilogy. Well, it was either without dying or yeah, I think it was like without dying. I don't think it was without getting hit. But he beat like the trilogy without dying, in one playthrough, right? There was a guy who beat Dark Souls 1 with the Donkey Kong bongo drums.
Yeah.
There was the one other guy who did it with the Dance Dance Revolution game dance pad.
Yep.
And then there was a guy who beat it with a bunch of bananas.
Yep.
Like this is like some of my favorite some of my favorite stories ever.
Yeah.
Like just the wild things that like what that like that who thinks of that? Like how is that even a
Geniuses.
thing?
Yeah.
That's literally the only people. Like one, you have to know how to fucking um connect it,
Yep.
right? And program it from that aspect. And then to actually execute it, like come on. Like
Execute it
come
and then
on.
succeed in what you were trying to do, right?
Insane, man.
Amazing.
Insane. Um yeah, man. I still can't believe it.
It's neat to say the least.
It is, right? And again, it just falls under that same thing. Just like honestly, it's some of those things that just make you proud to be a gamer.
Right.
Because they're taking the core concept, right? It's an easy thing to just play games, right? But then they're a simple concept, and then they're like just taking it to the next level and
Yeah.
mastering it. And and again, not only executing it, but executing it well.
Right.
Because all these people, I'm pretty sure, have beaten the game. So
Right.
it's like, wow. I want to touch on Doke V. Did you see anything on that?
No, that does not sound familiar. at all.
It when I tell you this game caught me off guard, I you have to watch the trailer. Like as I'm talking about this, there's an extended gameplay trailer out there. Um, it looks fantastic. Okay, like it looks so smooth, but it also looks super weird. Um, all the NPCs or like all the character models I saw were
Mhm.
basically they look like kids, right?
Okay.
Um, and it's gonna be some sort, and I'm probably butchering this because again I'm not still not 100% on what this game is, but it's gonna be some sort of MMO, Pokemon kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Just because it looks like he was like catching like some sort of monsters, but again, like it looks so good. Like it's flashy. Um, it 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 just looks so much fun. Like the animation, like the the enemies or the ads like spawning, and then like the combat ish. It looks like he at one point he has some sort of confetti gun.
I see that.
It's so colorful with a lot of the combat. It had like some sort of pop music in the trailer. Like I was like jamming to it at the same time. Again, still not 100% on
Some
what exactly this
K-pop,
is.
J-pop going on.
Yeah, like you gotta like check it out because maybe you can make more heads or tails of it than I can. But again, like overall, like it's just very colorful and it looks so weird. It looks so weird, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I like it so much. Yeah, like I just cannot place what it's like. But again, like there's some combat in there. At one point, they're like on some um paladin rocket boots. A little bit of throwback. Yeah, like 2 minutes in, he's just like
Yeah, I see
floating on
that.
some. Um, but right, like it looks silly enough to have fun with it.
Yeah.
I hope it
Um,
doesn't take itself too seriously.
mhm.
I really hope it doesn't. But yeah, like like it looks fun. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an MMO, just from what it looks like here.
I'm reading
Um,
some of the comments in the YouTube trailer, and one of them says, "If this is what kids get to play growing up, I am incredibly jealous."
I am incredibly jealous.
No, it does look good. It does look entertaining. The like you said, the graphics are phenomenal. It's everything you said about it is accurate. It's flashy. There's technology. There's robots. I don't know where you got a Pokemon esque thing. I haven't seen
Um,
anything
I
of the
might
sort.
have. I think that was an older trailer I saw. It looked like he was like catching something.
Mhm.
Like he was like catching a monster of some sort,
It
but
it
it might have just
yeah.
been attacking it.
It does look like you have like a partner in crime as you do things because they are showing like different scenes where they have a different partner with them attacking whatever is attacking that part of the town or city. So maybe
Actually,
that.
I apologize. Looks like the developer Prolibus actually just corrected because that's what everyone was kind of going for.
Hmm.
They did clarify it's going to be more of an open world action adventure, and it's not an MMO. So that actually was already corrected. So I
Okay.
apologize for that.
No worries. I'm glad you found it. It does look very cool. I'm curious to see. I didn't notice where they mentioned what platforms are going to receive this game. I really hope Sony doesn't do what Sony does and ruin everything.
I don't
Um,
think so. I think it's going to be PC.
yeah, but honestly, the best way I can wrap it up into a simple phrase is if Japan was a video game, this would be it.
Oh, I definitely forgot to mention with Saints Row, since you mentioned the Sony paywall, um, the Saints Row reboot. If you're looking into that, looks like it is leaning towards being an Epic Games exclusive.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Yep, that's where we are. Um, let me take a look, see if I missed anything.
Well, I got some stuff
Yeah.
to talk about. Um, so if I were to mention Fortnite, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Epic Games. Are you talking about the
Well,
gameplay?
if
Crossovers lately.
civil rights activist Martin Luther King was your answer, then I have some great news for you. apparently Epic, right, partnered with Times Magazine, and they created a virtual world or area, basically, of
Mm-hmm.
a museum and the Lincoln Memorial of in DC, in Washington
Mm-hmm.
D.C., where you can take your Fortnite avatar and walk through the museum and watch his infamous speech, um,
I'm pretty sure it was not infamous.
his famous speech, um, and go through. And they're gonna have like mini games and such, where you can gain like certain rewards and flair and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's coming. I didn't catch the release date, but that's either out or coming soon.
If it's
Um,
fully educational, I'm here for it.
that's really all it is. And basically, you just go through, and they captured like realistic images of things that are in these museums, and you can just go through. It's literally you're basically just walking through these museums, artificially, virtually through the game, and then you can listen to the 17-minute speech with a group of other Fortnite avatars there, and just walk around this digital Washington D.C. Creation that Epic and Times Magazine went for.
I don't hate that at all. But let me tell you, when you said Fortnite and Martin Luther King, I was walking on eggshells, man.
Let me tell you, when I saw the headline for it, I'm like, you know how bad of an idea it is to put Martin Luther King in a shooting game,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yep.
All right, well, they didn't go horrible. I'm sure they're gonna get some backlash for it, but that's like with anything nowadays.
Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
it really was for that. It's basically to educate the younger folk, because that's really who plays Fortnite nowadays. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
jab. If you're an adult and you play this, um,
Um. Okay. All right. I mean, so it's not a terrible idea by any means
no.
because, right there, Ubisoft actually, I'm pretty sure we touched on this as well, where they have like for I think it was Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed what was the Paris one, Unity, and then now the um Odyssey, right? So they
Hmm.
got Greek, French, and I definitely just forgot which one I mentioned. Greek, French, and Egypt, right? Where they have like this discovery tours. And it's so detailed and so like fantastic that they use the French one, I believe it was the French one, for they essentially use that program to rebuild the Notre Dame when it caught fire a couple years ago.
Well, yeah, I remember. I
Yeah, they
mean,
use that as like so to make it exact. Like that's insane.
mhm.
That's insane. So history in video games. Like if that's the way some people learn, I'm all for it. If it's just like an additional narrative of I'm serious. You know, if Mario would have had some I don't know some history lessons in there and using Bowser as like the stage, I would have been for it. I would have been for
I
that.
mean, what more of a history lesson do you need than if you feed a baby Yoshi five separate things, it grows up into an adult Yoshi? That's really the only science I ever need.
Yeah, it's the only reason I eat different colored bell peppers because right the blue one gave him wings, the yellow one made him stop. So like I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
Um,
I don't know what else you need from Mario.
so the Horizon series, right? They're getting the sequel, Horizon Forbidden West. I
Sure.
know you didn't play them, um,
Yet.
because oh that's right, Horizon was ended up on Steam.
Yep.
So it was fun. It was definitely fun. I personally think it was much more overhyped. It's much simpler than I thought
Hmm.
these people were giving credit for. However, like the concept is fantastic. Fighting the robotic dinosaurs, I loved. I think they were great. It still fell a little flat though. But the sequel has been delayed, so we are looking at a 2022 release date. Um, so that's exciting. I'm curious again, just curious to see what they're gonna come with because I think she's traveling west into the U.S. or wherever they were.
Hmm.
So I think they're gonna end up in some sort of in California. Um, so we'll take a look at that. Um, Death Stranding director's cut is coming out in September, and I didn't play this delivery simulator. It looked great. It's a real good like a cinematic masterpiece, right, from Hideo Kojima,
Hmm?
I might touch on it when it's like way within our threshold. Um, but until then, I think I'm just gonna wait.
That's to me. Um, so the last thing I have is a little feel good bit. Um, I can't believe this actually happened, but you know Arby's, right? The fast food joint, all about the meats or whatever their slogan is.
That somehow was able to spend like $1 billion something not too long ago. That who the hell is still buying Arby's? Who is
Yeah,
keeping these people in business?
no idea, but maybe it's like this ploy that they just did. Arby's started selling D&D dice, a full set of D&D dice, seven different polyhedral dice. There's no other way to put it. And the D20 has the Arby's logo as the 20 mark. And yeah, it sold out in under 2 hours when they released it.
Okay,
Yep, that happened.
that's how I feel right now. Okay.
um, actually insane. I mean, the only other time that I remember something like this kind of happening, it wasn't sold, but Wendy's did something similar, kind of, where they created a tabletop like game that you can play with your friends or whatever. And if you were eating Wendy's while playing, your character had like bonuses and buffs.
Hmm.
But I mean, obviously not the same thing as selling D&D dice. It's just that was the closest thing as a fast food joint getting into tabletop. So it's just I found it strange. I had to share it with you. I mean, cool. If you love Arby's and you play D&D, like wow, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Holy smokes! But
I'm sure uh, someone's jaw dropped.
yeah, I'm sure the 12 of you are gonna have a great time.
um, Age of Empires 4, which I 100% will be getting. I I had so much fun within that beta.
Must
Um,
be nice.
but so how about them Yankees?
Is that one of the new characters we don't know about yet?
um, during the survey they gave at the end,
Hmm.
I took a lot of time to like really try to apply as much input as like I could of right the good, the bad.
Nope. So don't be
But
surprised if you see Pixel as an emperor on the official
here we
release.
go. That's actually what I talked to him about. Towards like the end, the very end, I was like, what would you do? Is like you should have Dominicans as a race.
I
So who
mean,
knows?
uh, we didn't really become a full race until four different colonizations took place.
All
So
right, well,
when
that's okay. That's okay.
we're gonna just start at the end of the game.
I mean, whatever. As long as we're in there.
Sure.
Um. Oh man, I'm excited for a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, 2022
Um.
looks like it's gonna be an amazing year for gaming.
I wonder if it was worth all the delays.
Nope. But I mean, at least we're gonna get at least we're gonna get
Okay.
some kind of reward for our quote unquote patience and having
I
to.
think I think January and February are like really packed.
Yeah, because a lot of the things were pushed into 2022 and they all picked the first month. So like what happened with Cyberpunk, let's see if a large title comes out and forces everyone to move to the right, even though that was the bad move because everyone hated Cyberpunk's release. um but nonetheless, hey, we still put Cyberpunk in every episode.
We
Um,
definitely do. Two guys on level and Cyberpunk. All right, so we got Horizon, we got Destiny 2, we got Sifu, we got Saints Row, King of Fighters 15. Um, yeah, those are still unannounced, but yeah, like just those right there,
mhm,
just boom. And there's others still, being anticipated, right? In addition to that,
right.
so I don't know. I'm still excited. They're I wonder what that first quarter is going to look like for everyone. I'm sure they're still going to be hurting from Q4
Right.
or just all quarters here in 2021. So we'll see if 2022 treats them better.
Only time will tell. But it is going to be a great time for gamers. And towards the end of the year, you have Halo Infinite coming out to kind of hold you over into the new year if that's
Right.
your cup of tea.
Especially if it's going to be free to play, right? So
Hmm.
it's all you're really going to have to do is download it. I'm
Free
pretty
to
sure they
play.
said that. Well, yeah. Uh, I don't know where the cynicism is coming from.
For
Uh,
Halo Infinite,
yeah,
free to play for what?
the multiplayer.
Insane.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they announced that like way back when.
Define free to play. Like for everyone?
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
it's gonna be like Apex. You just download it and play.
So you basically only buy it if you want to play the story.
Basically, that's what it's looking like.
Well then, you know what this kind of tells me then?
But
They're coming out with a battle royale.
I mean, it's still hinted there. I mean, I don't think I would hate it for Halo. I'd still want to see what the gameplay feels like in this one.
Sure.
5 felt not that great. 4, same thing. Honestly, like the best one was Reach. Like that was
Yeah.
honestly like the best one.
Yeah. Reach was amazing. No. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we talked about it, but my memory goes as far back as a fruit fly. Um, it's I definitely this definitely convinces me that battle royale is gonna happen with Halo. Why else would they make it free to play? The only time a multiplayer game is free to play is when it's a battle royale, or so that's what it seems these days. I
Well,
don't see any other reason.
they're also coming out with obviously the battle passes and all that great stuff that Fortnite started.
Hmm.
Ugh. Um,
I mean, you people like your shiny skins and all that stuff because that's really all you get is a
right,
skin that's locked behind a paywall. It
basically.
doesn't change the game, but if I mean honestly, if you like a game that's easy and it's an easy way to support it, I know I've paid my fair share of money for skins in League. Um, but honestly, I enjoyed the game. Right, I'm still playing it, and I started playing it almost not 10 years ago, probably closer to 8 or 9, and I'm still playing it. And so I mean, a couple, 20, $30 here and there, like
Yeah, but I mean, if we break it down into a decade,
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
it's like it's like Gabriel Iglesias said. I don't know if you remember in one of his specials. His stepson Frankie wanted to play like Dance Dance Revolution.
Sure.
It was like $5 a dance, right? And he was like, "Damn, why am I complaining? I paid $20 for a dance the other day."
Oh my god.
Uh, hey, maybe we could tag him in this. Maybe he'll enjoy that.
Maybe, or we get sued.
I've been playing a good amount of Psychonauts too.
Okay.
No, I mentioned it here a couple times.
Yep.
The writing in that game is so ridiculous and funny to me. Oh my god. If you have it on Game Pass, they do a pretty good recap on. It's just like a 3D platformer. And you got like some abilities or whatever. It's pretty funny. I would definitely check it out if you have some time. Um,
Gotta
yeah, but
take your
yeah,
word
we had
for
a
it.
lot of. It's fine if you ever down the line need something.
Nope.
Um, yeah, we got a beta. I think another beta for New World coming out early September because they're planning to release it end of September. The
Okay.
Amazon New World, right? MMO. Yeah, this quarter is actually looking pretty big, right? We got Back for Blood coming out
Mhm.
in October, Far Cry 6, FIFA version 22. Um, oh, I actually wanted to talk about FIFA. You
Oh
know
yeah,
that
that. Okay, go ahead.
well, it's not that competitor. It's actually right FIFA. You know that we joke about because it's a sad reality. That FIFA what is it?
Literally
FIFA,
copy and paste the previous game and
right,
just add a new year to the title. Literally, what
right,
happens? Yeah.
100%. Do you know that that's literally what they do with the Switch edition?
What do you mean?
So the Switch gets like the same, right? FIFA 20, 19, 20, 21,
Hmm.
22, right?
Hmm.
Boom. But they label it the Legacy Edition. And the reason they call it the Legacy Edition is because they all they get is like the updated roster, but they don't get any new game modes. They don't get any like coding, like no gameplay innovation. So it's still like this. It's literally the same version of I think the 2019 one,
Okay.
and all they get is the roster updates on the Switch
You
for
mean
the full price,
every time they buy the game, it's just a roster update?
basically for
What's the
that year.
difference that happens on PlayStation and Xbox? A new
Well, they
game
still
mode
do
comes
like
out every
they still
five,
do
6 years?
right. No, well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, even like graphical updates,
Sure.
the Switch doesn't get that. So the Switch is still running on like the 2019 engine or whatever
Gotcha.
with updated rosters.
I mean, that's nuts, but I'm not surprised.
I'm
And
not surprised at all, but it blew my mind when I read it the other day.
literally,
Because
when FIFA 2020, you can go ahead and find this story. When FIFA 2020 came out, officially released, people saw that in the stadium in the background, and I guess wherever there were ads, it said they had ads for FIFA 19.
bruh,
As they, 'cause they just put the name of the title in the game, as you're
right?
playing it. It said FIFA 19 to go and show you that they literally just copy and paste the previous game. I mean, it makes sense. It's efficient, blah blah blah. But I think it's ridiculous that they pay full price for a roster update. Yeah, I
They
get it.
do.
It gets a little bit shinier or whatever, but you can do that through an update. Um,
You can. That was my thing with Overwatch. Like, I don't know why we're getting an Overwatch 2. Like, what's so different that they can't just update it like they
yeah,
have been?
I don't know. Maybe it's a completely different engine, and that's what I was gonna say. The only time a new entire game needs to be released at full price is when you change up the engine and the just core design of the actual game.
That makes sense.
But real quick before we sign off, because we spoke about Halo, they did Microsoft did release the system requirements um for Halo Infinite, and go ahead and read them off. For the minimum requirements, they require a minimum of 64-bit processor, at least Windows 10 RS3 patch. For processor, it needs to be an AMD FX 8370 or Intel i5 4440. Means I'm no longer in the window of minimum for this game. Actually, I still am, barely. I think I have.
Not if you go down the list.
You need at least 8 gigs of RAM. For graphics card, you need an AMD RX 570 or the NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti. It is running DirectX version 12, which I know a lot, not a lot, but there are people out there that did not get that to work on their platform. So if that is one of you, it is a requirement, a minimum requirement. So basically, a requirement for Halo Infinite. And you need at least 50 gigabytes of available space. So it's not going to be as big as Warzone, which takes 8 terabytes. Halo, the
All
Halo
right.
Infinite recommended requirements are 64-bit processing. That's standard. Windows 10, 19H2, which is the new way that they're releasing patches through Windows. So at 19H2, which is a bit dated. AMD Ryzen 7 3700X or Intel i7 9700K, which I am not anywhere close to.
That's actually, yeah. I'm not even at the processor. I'm gonna have to update my processor.
Yeah, yeah. At least 16 gigabits of RAM. The graphics card recommended is the RX 5700 or NVIDIA RTX 2070. Recommended. Yeah, so that's one of the newer cards right there. DirectX version
Hmm.
12. It's the newest, latest and greatest, which actually does wonder for video games and the same storage, 50 gigabits available space.
Yeah,
So,
I'm actually curious to see DirectX 12
mhm.
and Unreal Engine 5.
Yep, yep, yep. It is going to be sick. So yeah, so that's the minimum requirements. I know that's gonna affect a lot of people, myself included, right? I can't even tell you what my processor is. I can do a DirectX and see if um comes up. What is it? EX Diag. I work in computers, I swear. But yeah, I'm out of date. I can tell you that right now. Oh no, I'm not. I got one more gen. Yeah, I got. I'm in the 5K for Intel. Still in the
Okay.
game, but I'm nowhere near the recommended settings. Um, so yeah, there you have it. That's that. I have nothing else to cover. I don't know about you.
I want to say I am all set. Let me just take a look at my notes real quick. Boom, boom. Nothing there. Oh, just one minor thing, because it reminded me of you, is there are a bunch of people coming together, making a new
Okay,
a mockumentary,
sure.
a series called Players, and it's gonna follow a fictional League of Legends team as it struggles to claim its first world championship after years of failure.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what that reminds me of? Rock Band Ford created a little game mode like that. It was like you said, a mockumentary, and you create a band, and it's your struggle and how you made it to fame. And it was so funny because obviously they never say a name, right? You name your band, they never say it, but you just hear like they were amazing. I remember their first concert, blah blah. Blah. Like they refer to you as the they them pronouns. It was so well done, and there were like actual famous like rock stars in the mockumentary saying, "Yeah, I remember catching their first gig." And honestly, the funniest moment, or one of the funniest moments, was like closer to the beginning where you play your very first concert and
Hmm.
you complete your set, and there's literally only one guy clapping and screaming. Like that's it. You just hear a single guy clapping, and midway through the mockumentary, he was like, "Yeah, I was the only one to go to their first concert," and I lost it. I was on the floor laughing because
It's always the little things.
yeah, it was so good. It was like no one else was there, but they didn't know what they were missing. Blah blah blah. It was great. Um, so I'm excited to see what they do with this league mockumentary. I didn't even know that was a genre, but I'm quite happy to have learned it. So thanks for that, Pixel. And real quick, we spoke about it in the past. Is the Avatar Legends role playing game that recently was announced, close to a month ago at this point. Their latest or their last stretch goal was for 7 million, and they broke through that. They're currently at 7.4 million backing, and which is insane. But just goes to show you how many people are excited and ready for the Avatar role playing game. But
Yeah, no, but I mean, I imagine you have right fans of Avatar
yep,
just looking for another medium, and then you have fans of tabletop games,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
then you have we'll put a third group, one who likes both, who probably just like fainted after this announcement, you know?
Dozens of us. No, there's actually tens of thousands.
Dozens of us. I've never fully seen this show.
Yeah.
Um,
But real quick, so I don't know why they said it, but they said that the 7,000 or the 7 million goal was going to be their last stretch goal. But apparently, what they meant was that was going to be their last physical stretch goal, which the 7 million goal was all the soft book copies get piled into one hard book copy um, on release. So now they're going to create an 8 million stretch goal, and all they said about it was, if we get close to the 8 million stretch goal, we will announce what it is, but just know that it will not be a physical stretch goal. But we ensure to I guess it's going to be amazing or exciting, or whatever it is. Apparently, it's going to be a big thing, and I don't know what else they can do because they're already making a digital platform for the game where you can create your characters and roll dice and all that good stuff. So basically,
bro, at this point, they're just gonna make a full game. They're gonna make Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 3 engine with Avatar. That's the next thing,
no, they're just going to release the season 3 is going to only be available through this tabletop game.
bro. Oh, and one last minor thing for me, which I found funny. So recently we had Nintendo celebrating the grand opening of Super Nintendo World.
Sure.
Right, the first park was built in Japan. Boom, boom. Apparently, recently we had some Goombas staying true to character. There was a Yoshi ride called Yoshi's Adventure.
Yep.
You sit in the different Yoshi carts and you go through the track. You know, you can get a nice overview of the park and all that. But I guess at some point during the path, there's like a couple stacked Goombas. I believe it's four, and they're just there for decoration as you go by. And I guess this one statue ended up like tipping over and just blocking the entrance. It didn't hit anybody, but
Yeah.
I think it was just funny how they're still being antagonists even when they're just statues.
Oh, that's funny.
That was funny. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for me.
Same here. All right. So go ahead and take this time to go ahead and thank everyone for hanging out with us yet another week. Go ahead and show some love by checking out the links below for additional content. This is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so I need to make a click. What is it? Click, like, and subscribe, or whatever. Share, like, and subscribe. I don't know. I'll figure out that YouTube mumbo jumbo later.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure to like and subscribe. I hate when they do that, so I'm just gonna make an image thing to do it for me.
It works. It works.
But I mean, yeah, definitely show some love on YouTube. And check out our Discord and all that good stuff. You'll see all that in the descriptions. As always, the best way to show support is to share our podcast, whether that is apparently through YouTube or your podcast listening platform. We are available on Twitter, and we love discussing things that we either talked about in the past or things that are currently happening. And you can also reach out to us to talk about things that you would like to hear on the episode. You can find us at Two Guys One Level on Twitter, and basically almost every social media. It'll be Two Guys One Level. So yeah, so definitely appreciate you all for coming and hanging out with us. And yeah, remember, gamers lead the way.